Now, what police are saying about a homicide investigation on Madison's south side, and a pivotal vote on articles of impeachment in just days away, how lawmakers are preparing. Plus, this is what the holidays are all about, how neighbors in Stoughton are giving back.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. A man is in jail tonight as police continue to investigate the circumstances of a deadly shooting. It happened yesterday afternoon on the 1000 block of Spruce Street near downtown. Madeline O'Neill has the new details from police.
Well, Amanda, the victim's name hasn't been released yet. The police say he's a young Wisconsin man, not from the Dane County area. The man accused is 20-year-old Marcus Hamilton. He's facing first-degree intentional homicide.
Peaceful and quiet.
Maybe not quite as quiet as when John Fideli joined the neighborhood in 1953.
Back then it was the middle of nowhere. I mean, there was nothing across the street. That was all field.
Especially not on Saturday afternoon.
Well, one person shot at least.
Fideli wasn't home to hear the shots fired, but heard from plenty of friends.
Well, one of the neighbors called me. He asked me if I was home because there was some goings on.
They were last seen running through the backyards from Spruce.
Right outside Fideli's home on the block of Spruce Street off of Fish Hatch. Madison police say a man was shot while the sun was still shining at about 1:18 in the afternoon.
The city is now asking for you to assist.
First responders did what they could, but the victim later died at the hospital. It's the first homicide Fideli can remember in his neighborhood.
I was surprised, but I wasn't. I mean, it seems to happen anywhere and everywhere anymore.
Anytime something like this happens and involves young people, it's an absolute tragedy.
Assistant Police Chief John Patterson says work by neighborhood officers and detectives led to a quick arrest of 20-year-old Marcus Hamilton, who is believed to have known the victim.
This does not appear to be a random incident.
Still,
anytime there's guns being fired in a city as populated as ours, that's an absolute concern. You know, you've heard us, I think, talk at least several times in the recent past about some of the incidents involving guns around the city, and it's absolutely very concerning.
Where are you going to go? I mean, it can happen anywhere.
the victim's name hasn't been released yet, but police say he is a Wisconsin man, a young man not from the Dane County area. Now, police are still investigating, including the possibility that more people were involved with this homicide in one way or another. Those with information can call the police department's violent crime unit or Madison area Crime Stoppers to stay anonymous.
All right, thank you so much, Maddie. More local news now. 5 people are injured after a 2-car crash on Highway 73 in Columbus this afternoon. Fire officials say one car was found 50 feet off of the roadway at County Highway V and State Highway 73. 4 people, 2 adults and 2 children, were in that car. Authorities say a second car with 1 passenger was found on the side of the highway. All 5 people were taken to hospitals for treatment. Highway 73 is back open after being closed for more than 4 hours. Let's turn it over to Gary Canalti with your first alert forecast. Gary, it still looks like a pretty quiet week ahead.
It sure does. Tonight we're getting some flurries, maybe even some very light snow showers, but that's about the most snow that I think we're going to see before Christmas. You can see on high-resolution Doppler radar the light snow over southern Wisconsin. A lot of this not reaching the ground. Visibilities right now at or above 10 miles from most of the major reporting stations other than Monroe, with a 3-mile visibility and 2.5 miles in Viroqua. That just indicates some light snow reaching the ground. High temperatures today were colder. We only reached the lower 20s here in Madison. Janesville topped out at 27. But to the north and west of the Dells, temperatures were only in the teens. And current temperatures range from the teens in the northern parts of our viewing area to the lower to middle 20s from Madison southward. By tomorrow morning, the flurries will be ending. Look for skies to turn partly sunny tomorrow. Won't be quite as cold with a high temperature of 29. Later on, I'll take a look at our chances for a white Christmas as we look at the next 10 days leading up to the Christmas holiday.
Thank you, Gary. Around the state, police have identified the decomposed body found by a group of teenagers last week. Authorities say the body is 39-year-old Robert Kruczkowski of Milwaukee. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office says an autopsy did not show any evidence of injury, but they still do not have a cause of death. 3 teens found the body in a wooded area in West Allis on December 7th. Over 100 exhibitors are coming to the Wisconsin Center in Milwaukee in February for the Wisconsin Cannabis Expo. Organizers hope the expo gives residents information about the cannabis industry. Guests will be able to sample and purchase products and learn different parts of the industry. Experts will also give presentations about the cannabis, CBD, and hemp industry. In Michigan, the marijuana industry is off to a booming start. Recreational sales were legalized December 1st. Over $1.6 million in sales came in during the first week, nearly $270,000 in tax revenue for that state. Many marijuana shops around the state have reportedly instituted purchase limits to battle the heavy demand. Illinois is planning on legalizing recreational marijuana sales on New Year's Day. Half of American voters want President Trump impeached and removed from office. That's according to a new poll from Fox News that was taken as House Democrats unveiled 2 articles of impeachment against the president. 4% of voters surveyed nationwide say the president should be impeached but not removed from office, while 41% oppose impeachment altogether. That historic vote on articles of impeachment against President Trump is just days away. Democratic and Republican lawmakers are looking ahead to a Senate trial and voicing differences over how it will be conducted. Nicole Killian has more from the White House.
On Twitter, President Trump denounced the impeachment process as a hoax and predicted we will win ahead of a pivotal House vote this week. Lawmakers will consider 2 articles of impeachment against the president: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress.
This is not a one-off. Impeachment is not a punishment for past behavior. He is openly seeking foreign interference in the 2020 election.
But President Trump is already looking ahead to the Senate trial and has a witness wish list.
I'd tell the president if somebody's ready to quit you, I'd sort of get out of the way.
Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham suggests a different approach.
If you start calling the witnesses the president wants, then they're going to start calling Mike Pence and the Secretary of State Pompeo.
CBS News has learned that the president's top attorney and legislative aide will continue meetings this week with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell about how to proceed with the Senate trial.
I'm going to coordinate with the president's lawyers, so there won't be any difference between us on how to do this.
Democratic lawmakers express concern.
He's already made his decision, even before he's taken his oath to promise impartial justice.
I'm worried that we won't get a fair trial where all the facts and all the truth comes out.
The House Judiciary Committee is expected to file its impeachment report Sunday, a requirement for a full vote in the House Wednesday. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
On Tuesday morning, the House Rules Committee will meet to pass a rule laying out the structure of the debate. A maker's market is connecting the public with local artists by teaching people to embrace their creativity. Madison Art Shop Communication brought in artists to showcase a variety of art mediums. At today's market, owners say it allows the artists to be more available to customers, and it helps customers get to know their local artists. They say the shop creates an environment that lets people be a part of the creative thought process by encouraging conversation.
Communication is all about creating community, and one of the great things that I'm always saying about having the artists in the space is that it means that the people who come to buy their stuff can recognize them when they see them on the street.
The owners say that creativity isn't about being perfect or having it right all the time. It's about embracing the creative process of art. Just in time for the holidays, people are making their own glass ornaments at an interactive lab this weekend. UW-Madison brought in the community for the sold-out Glass Lab. It's an annual fundraiser for UW's Glass Club Mad Gaffers, whose students use the money for tools. New this year, people were able to bend their own neon, but beyond the ornaments, students say the event is about teaching the community about what glass making is really like.
We definitely love public involvement. People don't usually know what's going on here. Glass is sort of like an underground art form still. So I think it's really important that the public sees what we're doing here and how important it is.
Although it ended today, students say they welcome questions and are always open to people visiting the laboratory. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 10, families giving back. How a simple box is showing neighbors just how much they care.
for a forecast that keeps your family safe. Watch First Alert Weather.
The 2020 Tokyo Olympics are just 7 months away. Japanese Prime Minister Abe Shinzo officially unveiled the stadium for the Olympics and Paralympics at a launch ceremony today. He says the new stadium will put athletes first and be accessible to all, regardless of their disabilities. The stadium's construction began in December of 2016 after the original stadium that was used during the 1964 Tokyo Olympics was demolished. During the season of giving, the Better Business Bureau of Wisconsin is warning donors of scams. It has a few tips for you to know before donating. First, always make sure the charity is legitimate and secure. This can be done by double checking that the website is real if you're donating online. Also, watch for out-of-the-blue requests. Don't trust aggressive sales pitches and do some research before you give.
We always want to donate with our heart, but we have to donate with our head too. And the first thing that you should do when you choose to donate, whether it's a charity or for a cause, is to research that charity. Do all of your homework, check out the charity on give.org.
The Better Business Bureau recommends you always know where your money is going before you donate. And this holiday season, a Stoughton neighborhood knows exactly where their donations are going. Gabriella Becerra shares how neighbors are taking care of neighbors this holiday season.
It's the season of giving, and sometimes something as simple as a meal can mean a lot to those who need it most. This community is proving that.
We're here, there's a lot of hamburger helper and pasta, and there's chili starter and coffee.
A close group of friends in the Stoughton community was looking for a way to say thank you.
This past year was a really challenging year for a lot of us, and we have been gifted a lot of different blessings through this year to help us get through it. And we're like, how can we love this community back?
A blessing box now sits on Aaron and Ryan Horsberger's front lawn.
One of the guys built the box like in 3 hours, super talented guy, and then a couple others put it up, and then we've committed to just keeping it full. Except we really haven't had to do a lot of keeping it full because the community has contributed so much to the box.
It's open to everyone who needs a little extra help during the holidays.
Christmas can be a hard time of year for a lot of people, and there is a lot of struggle, but that doesn't mean that struggle has to take joy and hope away. And just being able to see people come and take something if they need it or give something, like it's a blessing whether they're taking or giving.
And they say not a day has passed where new stuff hasn't been added.
So tons of personal care like toothbrushes and soap and toothpaste. We usually have toilet paper and paper towels in there too.
There's things that can maybe help make their life a little bit easier, but you're right, it is not gonna, if they're in a really hard place, this isn't gonna make everything instantly better.
But the blessings continue.
Just knowing that there's people in the community that care about you, even if they don't know who you are.
Long after the stuff is gone. So if you're in the neighborhood, leave what you can and take what you need this holiday season. In Stoughton, Gabriella Becerra, News 3 Now.
The Blessings Box will be in operation through January. If it turns out to be a success, they plan on committing to keeping it going all year round. Let's get a look at your First Alert weather with Gary Canalti. Gary, a bit of a warm-up on the way, but no snow.
Well, no accumulating snow. If you take a look at Doppler radar tonight, boy, it looks like there's a bunch of snow coming through southern Wisconsin. But when you look at it on high-resolution Doppler radar, this lighter shade of blue is probably just some snow flurries aloft. The little darker patches of blue might be where some snow is reaching the ground, but not very much. So as we take a look at three things you need to know in the forecast, those flurries will come to an end by early tomorrow morning, and then it'll just be seasonably cold through Wednesday. Highs upper 20s for tomorrow and Tuesday, and probably low 20s on Wednesday. But after that, it'll be dry and mild, and I'm not expecting any accumulating snow through the Christmas holiday. In fact, temperatures after that 22-degree high reading on Wednesday jump up into the mid-30s on Thursday, upper 30s for Friday, Saturday, and around 40 on Sunday, low 40s on Monday. Even Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, temperatures will still be in the low to mid-30s, and there's not any snow expected in the forecast. Again, the northern and central parts of the state don't see a problem for a white Christmas. Down to the south, that will also be probably a white Christmas as a winter storm passes to our south. But the computer model forecast, and this takes us through Christmas Day, calling for very little, if any, in the way of accumulating snow across southern Wisconsin. The 6 to 10-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center from the 21st through the 25th of December, calling for above normal temperatures for pretty much the entire country other than the extreme west coast and the far east coast, and precipitation expected to be below normal for much much of the eastern two-thirds of the country, including Wisconsin. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Not seeing any flurries in the lights of the Capitol. High today 23, the low temperature 8. The cloud cover is keeping our temperatures up right now. We're at 21 with just cloudy skies at the airport. Winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour give us a wind chill of 15 degrees. Current temperatures range from the single digits in the northern part of the state where skies are partly cloudy and there's that thick snow cover to the low 20s here. That snow coming in from the west will mainly stay to the south. We're just going to be on the northern fringes of the storm system, and a second storm will follow in its path again to our south during the day tomorrow. So we're going to stay high and dry with this high pressure system here. Again, other than a few flurries, that's pretty much about it. Traveling to the south tomorrow, winter storm warnings in effect down toward St. Louis, Kansas City, over toward Indianapolis with winter weather advisories to the west and east of there. Temperatures right now, single digits up to the north. South of the Ohio River, those temperatures jump up into the 50s, and there could be a severe weather outbreak tomorrow over parts of Mississippi and Alabama. But as we take a look at future track, that weather system passes by, and then the second one follows right after it, and that'll keep it away from Wisconsin. So that's about the only chance of any accumulating snow that I can see. And after that, you can see skies clearing out for Tuesday. We'll look for slightly colder weather for Wednesday, and then that warm-up starts on Thursday. So for tonight, mostly cloudy, not as cold. Some scattered flurries, low temperature at 17. Any lingering flurries will end early tomorrow. Then it'll turn partly sunny, not as cold with a high temperature of 29. On future track, you can see the clouds moving out later on tonight, and any flurries will follow with them. Skies will be partly sunny for tomorrow with highs in the upper 20s. Tomorrow night, with partly cloudy skies, the temperatures will drop into the lower teens, and then high temperatures on Tuesday will top out in the upper 20s with partly sunny skies. As we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, notice those temperatures going right back up after that cold 22 on Wednesday. We're back to near 40 for the weekend, and you don't see any precipitation in there. I mean, here or there I might have a flurry or a little bit of drizzle, but that's not going to make a white Christmas.
All that sunshine to welcome Santa, so.
That part is nice.
It's nice to have a little sunshine. That's nice. All right. Thank you so much, Gary.
Sure.
Coming up on News 3 now at 10, the Packers try to clinch a playoff spot with a win and a little help from their friends. Sports is next.
News 3.
After the Packers' Week 1 win against the Bears, Green Bay linebacker Blake Martinez ran off the field and yelled, "Too easy." Week 15 was not so easy. The Packers could clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Rams loss in Dallas. The 200th meeting between the Packers and the Bears. 14-3 Pack. First 2.5 quarters were great. Aaron Jones, 17th touchdown of the season, 21-3 home team. 21-6. Mitch Trubisky turned it on in the second half. Hits Anthony Miller, and all of a sudden, it's a one-possession game. The Packers' final 5 possessions were not good. 9 yards, 5 punts, leaving the door open just a crack. The Bears had one more shot after missing a Hail Mary. 1 second to go. It's Trubisky to Tariq Cohen running around. Back to Trubisky. All you gotta do is just tackle him. Just tackle him. Jesper Horsted. Just all you gotta do is just cover the ball. Tramon Williams seals it. Packers hold on to win. 21-13. Kenny K has your post game.
Once again, the Packers don't like to make things easy for themselves. Coming out of the gate in the second half, their first 2 drives, 10 total plays, 2 touchdowns, and building a 21-3 lead. And yet this game still comes down to the final play before the Packers can breathe a collective sigh of relief. On the defensive end, the big guys set the tone early and often. Kenny Clark had himself a game and then some. 8 tackles, 3 for loss, and 2 sacks, and he was a major force in limiting the Bears running backs to 3 yards a carry.
I should have had 3, but I mean, hopefully next week it's 3. You know, I'm trying to stack them up, but just, you know, trying to do whatever it takes to help the team win.
Oh, he's killing it. I think, you know, you can see you can't block a one-on-one. I mean, every time he has a one-on-one, he wins. So just see his start the first quarter, that got us going on defense. So that was huge.
Aaron Jones overcame a slow start to provide both of those key third-quarter touchdowns. It's his 4th game with multiple rushing scores this season, and he's now just 3 touchdowns shy of the franchise single-season touchdown record.
I didn't even know it was 3 off. I just want to keep getting in the end zone, keep scoring, and at the end of the year, see how many I can put up.
Aaron Rodgers says Davante Adams was a difference maker. He targeted Adams 13 times, and the wideout went over 100 yards for the 4th time this season.
I think what Matt did today was great, moving Davante around. You know, we had a number of snaps with him in the slot, and he was playing both Z and X. The more we can move him around, it just gives the defense more things to worry about, and he's a dangerous runner.
Now, Aaron Rodgers says great teams are able to finish off opponents in gritty games like this, but he says the team still has some work to do to get to that great status. At Lambeau Field, I'm Ken Kozorowski for News 3 Now Sports.
Part 2 of the Packers playoff equation required them to temporarily put on their Cowboys gear. A win by Dallas over the Rams, and the Packers are in the postseason. Dallas 6-7. They're trying to fight for their playoff lives in the East. This was blowout city. Dak Prescott, Tavon Austin, all by myself. Could still be running if he wanted to. Cowboys win 44-21. Dallas sends Green Bay to the playoffs. Skol, Vikings head west to take on the Chargers. This wasn't much of a game either. How about some defense? Daniil Hunter, the sack in the strip. Ifedi, Odenigbo, gonna scoop, yeah. Run, and if you get the end zone, you score. The Vikings pound the Chargers 39-10, improving to 10-4. They will host the Packers in a big one next week on Monday Night Football. Halftime of this game was more entertaining than the real game, probably, if you're a Chargers fan. I have nothing else except for that there is a race that involves dogs, and they're wearing jerseys, and these are corgis, if I'm not mistaken. The jerseys, they probably could have played for the Chargers because they did nothing on offense, and it was way more organized than I thought it would be if you said line up a bunch of dogs and turn them loose.
They actually all went the same direction.
They went the same direction. Don't sleep on the dogs.
Maybe they had to have treats over there or something.
Oh, treat. Oh, yeah. That's
they were ready
treats, some
with
sort
the
of
treats.
Beef jerky, something involved. I have no idea.
Something that smelled good.
Yep.